Now let's add an emit map. Over here, we should name that guy. Specular. Click on the empty slot. Click on new image. Let's name this one emit. And let's go ahead and make a new image. We don't need an alpha on that. Let's go emit. And let's do save as image. Let's see, what this emit mapping is UV. UV map. Don't use the alpha. There we go. Now we can get in here and I want to find that circle and just have that circle be white. So the best thing to do, I think, is to go to Photoshop. Select all, copy, withdraw, paste. Get our wand, we'll select that, and that. Go ahead and delete that. Save it. Reload the image. Oh, there we go. That's pretty neat. And if you didn't want it to emit 100% like that, you could always bring that down to gray and so on. That looks cool. There's your emit map. In this lesson, we're going to take a break from all the work and have some fun with rendering. Let's look through the camera, see what we're getting right now. What a rendering. Let's hide that. And in rendering, better yet, let's turn on rendered so we can see this happening. Select this guy's, and let's try giving him some toon shading. Let's increase the intensity, increase the size. Let's play with the specular. Push that way up and make it harder. Let's bring the smoothness down on this. just raise this, move this just a touch here. And how about we try the freestyle renderer, which will let us create outlines. Let's click that on, then click here to go to our render layer settings, and we'll keep it simple for the moment. Let's change the thickness, add a modifier like a calligraphy modifier. Let's hit F12. There we go. It's not showing up in the other renderer when we make the freestyle changes. You have to actually force another rendering. Let's hit escape. There we go. And see what we can do with these strokes. That might be a little thick, so we can set our max thickness. Maybe let's try bring it down to 8. And then where these strokes don't connect, let's add that. There we go, that connects them a little better. That's pretty neat. I go back to the material again. Let's see. I'm in the wrong window. Escape. There we go. It's a pretty neat effect. Let's soften this. I don't know. I'm sort of torn between making it really hard and then softening it. Of course, save. I'm seeing some seams, and that's probably because of the subdivision surface affecting the mesh on top of the UV. So probably could have used a little bit larger of a bleed on the guy, but it's easy enough to fix. We'll just go into paint. What we'll do is just color outside the lines. This was just a little too close for Blender. Remember S to sample. to size your brush. Looks like there's a little spot here. This one's pretty easy. And this is just for the color. We don't have to mess with the other maps. Let's go through here. Just getting the broad brush strokes, and we'll go in and get a little more detail. I gotta say, Blender's painting with the F is a lot easier to hit than Photoshop's keys for resizing. Okay, let's zoom in and really work this shift space to gain some more room. Sample that. We'll do a piece at a time. Do the pants and the boots. Let's do these. Oh, I got the gray there. Not easy to hit. So, pants, boots, let's do the shirt, which we did. That looks good. Let's do the sleeves. Zoom in a little bit more. What do we have left? We did the head, hands, the rest of those boots. That looks great. I could do image, save image, and that's what we need to do. We don't have to save the Blender file because all we changed was the image. But maybe for the sake of consistency, I will do a save as. So you can see that that was 17 that we were working on. Next we'll do rigging. Hit Shift Space so we get our window editor menu back and switch over to 3D view. Let's look at them from the front. Type G, hit Z to constrain to the Z axis. Let's zoom in. We're going to have his feet on the ground, which is at our 0 point on the Z axis. So that's good. See that? See how when we type G and we're moving it up, that blue line should be right on the center here, and it's not. That's because earlier, when I said I was going to tweak the hand and I wasn't going to add geometry, I actually did add geometry. I added this little bone here, but I didn't add it to both sides. Not that that's a big deal, but I want to show you what's going on here. Let's do View, middle mouse button, and scroll this over. Let's look at what's selected. So this face is fine because this is the one that we extruded out. It was originally in this area. And these faces are the new faces. And when I click on them, you'll see, like, this face here is flat. This one over here, there's no dimension to it. So we could go through and edit these points on the UV map and move them over. Adding geometry is not really a problem. For example, if I were to throw a ring loop in here, you'll see that it added it right there in the center along the map just fine. It works with our current map. No problem. With our extrusion, it wasn't as simple for Blender to figure out, so we ended up having these areas that have no dimension. Now we could go in and edit these points, but for the sake of time on this video, I'm going to just remove these because it's not really a necessary edit. And I had said that I wasn't going to add geometry, and I did. So let's just merge. The last one I clicked, merge. Alright, so these are back to normal. And when we select all and move along the Z, you'll see that's right on the center now, which is where it's supposed to be. Sometimes at certain magnifications it might look a little bit off, but if you zoom in more, you'll see it's closer. Like here it looks slightly off, but really it's on. It's just like some sort of rounding error at the resolution that you're looking at it at. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and save this out. And now we can start our rigging.